Hello and welcome to Miniature Adventures. I'm Big Lee, and this week we're going to do something different because I need your help. So every week I try and have a new subject to discuss, and I'll usually pose a question, answer it myself, and then ask what you think. And making videos, the actual making and editing of the video is, to be honest, the easy part. Once I have a subject, writing an outline script and all that depends on time and enthusiasm and so on, but getting the idea that's often the hard part. It's the tricky part of doing the videos. So today I want to ask for your ideas and questions. Now with these videos I never want to try and box myself into a corner with a really hard and fast format. So sometimes I do tutorials or reviews, but mostly I'm doing what I call conversation starters. So I do have sort of settled into a formula. I will pose a question, make a statement, explore that subject. I'll try and answer the question that I've posed myself from my own perspective, and then at the end of it I'll usually ask you, what is your experience, what do you think, am I talking rubbish, etc. And to be honest, sometimes the ideas flow really easy and I'll have 2 or 3 video ideas working on at the same time. Other times I'm scratching my head to find a subject and the deadline's coming up and I'm getting a little bit panicky. And usually I am usually working on multiple scripts at the same time so that I don't have that exact situation, and I'm not running out of ideas, but it is sometimes quite challenging to come up with a subject that I think will really buzz in the next video that we do. But the list of ideas that I've got is getting a little bit shorter, so I decided it would be a good idea to ask you for some ideas. But before we get to that bit, it is worth me saying that I've mentioned before about note taking, and I use a range of digital note taking tools to make life easier for myself. One of my favourites is Google Keep Notes. It's on my phone, it's really easy to use. I can tap out some words if I want to. It even has a nifty digital voice recognition software in there. All Google stuff does, so I can literally dictate and it will type something out for me. Autocorrect sometimes does some interesting things when I'm talking into it, but most of the time it works really well. And I can categorize those notes, color code them, archive them when I'm finished, so it's really easy for me to keep notes on ideas that I have. However, it has to be said that invariably the best ideas come at the most inconvenient times. Annoyingly, usually in the middle of the night. For some bizarre reason, I'll wake up and I'll have a stunning idea for a video. And then of course I forget all about it by the morning, and my wife would absolutely kill me if I started getting out my phone and dictating notes at 2 AM. So I won't be doing that. The other place I tend to have really good ideas is when I'm in the shower. Sorry people, I know you're going to have to get the mind bleach out now, but it's invariably I'll be in the shower and I'll have a really good idea for a video, and by the time I've got out and got my phone, I've forgotten what it was. I suppose that's an age thing. So maybe I need to keep a notepad next to the bed or a wax chalkboard in the shower cubicle, although again I suspect my wife might think that's a step too far. So why am I continuing to make these videos if I've run out of ideas? Well, first, I haven't run out of ideas. I do still have a list. I've always got a list of things and I'm working on various projects at the same time. But obviously having extra ideas, extra points of conversation would make it a lot easier for me to make these videos. And I've got enough people to follow the channel now that I think it would be really good to get a little bit of feedback and get some of your ideas and maybe turn some of your ideas into actual videos as well. The reason I like using YouTube to have these conversations is I have, to a certain extent, become a little bit disillusioned with forums as a place of conversation. There's a lot of angry discourse on them, which you can ignore to a certain extent, but also forums tend to be either really very helpful or not very helpful at all. You know, you'll get someone who'll pose a question, say, I need an answer to this question, and they'll get 40 answers of people telling them how they do it and not answering the question. Or they'll raise a touchy subject, and next thing you know, there's a storm going on, and it's all turned very up nasty. And that's not to say that, you know, everyone's experience of forums may be different, but I find them hard to use. Whereas I do like to find videos and look at the comments, and particularly running my own channel and having my own videos, I get to have one-to-one conversations with people that have watched my videos. And I try as best I can to answer, respond to every comment. I don't always quite get there. About 90% I think I managed to get back to people in a reasonable amount of time and at least respond to their comment. And we often have some really good conversations, and I like to think I made a good few friends this way. So for me personally, this is a great way to have a conversation with fellow wargamers about our amazing and slightly crazy hobby. You know, I'm always trying to encourage a very real conversation here that I think sometimes isn't quite as real on other forums. Just a personal opinion there. And as I say, I try and engage with everyone as much as I can, and I want to continue that. And asking for your ideas is just another way of engaging with you. Ask me a question and let's see if we can turn it into a short video and have a conversation about something that you're interested in, not just the silly ideas I come up with. So this week I'm asking, do you have any subjects that you would like to suggest for videos like this, or questions that you'd particularly like to ask me about perhaps the games I play, or how I got to where I am now, you know, what sort of people I play with, any question you like, within reason. You know, ideally these questions need to be answerable in a 10-minute video, but bigger subjects I suppose could be cut up and tackled in a series of videos, maybe similar to what I did when I talked about blogs. I split the subject into two and did it as two videos, one after the other. Equally, I may group similar ideas together into one bigger video, but on the whole I'm trying to get subjects that can be tackled briefly in a 10-minute segment, and hopefully start a conversation. And of course I'll credit anybody whose suggestions I use. So that's it for this week. Please leave your suggestions in the comments below, or you can go over to my blog, and there's actually a feature in the sidebar where you can send me a direct message if you'd rather send me some ideas that way. But you can leave comments here on YouTube or over on my blog, Big Lee's Miniature Adventures. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, or indeed any of my videos, please like, subscribe and share. And if you want to keep up to date with the weekly videos, or as I put them out, please click the bell notification icon. So until next week, stay safe, get in as many games as you can, and of course, keep rolling high.